Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to always have you here. The first trading day of the week. Hopefully, everyone had a good weekend. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Over the weekend, my wife and I went kayaking. About a month ago, I bought us some kayaks, and my wife just every weekend, hey, can we go kayaking? Hey, can we go kayaking? So we got up early Saturday morning. We went kayaking, and she keeps the dog with her. And the dog jumped into the water because it was afraid of the buoy. And the life vest that we got for him works out very well. So that's what he gets. He's still a little puppy. He got scared of the buoy and tried to get away from it in the middle of the lake. Way to go, puppy. All right, so with that being said, it seems like you guys can hear me. Joey, can you show me the other screen? Seems like you guys can hear me. That's a good thing. Again, the big thing for us is that it is the beginning, the first trading day of the week. Before everybody gets here, though, I want to wait for everybody to get here. There we go. We got 102. I want to get a little bit more people before we get hot and heavy. What's up, Unc? Let's get this shmoney. Can I say shmoney, Joe? Wow, 167. There we go. All right. Looks like you guys are in the house right now. What I need you all to do is share this link. I need you guys to share this link. Let's get the people in the market, who are trading in the market, into the room. Joey's going to put the link up in the room. This is a tricky market right now. A whole bunch of stuff going on throughout the week. Janet Yellen just came back from China. We'll talk a little bit about that. CPI report comes out this week. We'll talk a little bit about that. Jobs, these things the Fed is looking at before it makes its decision towards in the next couple of weeks on the Fed decision. So we'll see what's going on. We'll talk a lot about some stocks that are on my radar. That's the beautiful thing about being on YouTube. Everybody wants to know what the next big thing is. Hopefully, you watched the video this weekend talking about the alternative to lithium. How many of you watched the video? Type a 1 in the room. How many of you watched the Friday video, the alternative to lithium? Type a 1. If you did not, type a 2. This is what we're all about, talking about things that a lot of other people are not talking about. Folks, we want to keep you well informed and keep you informed about what's moving before it moves the best way that we can. The best way that we can. For anybody who's typing a 2, I am inviting you right now, after this is done, go take a look at the content that we have on the channel. We've got so much to offer to our YouTube subscribers in regards to what's going on in the market. And you need to take a look at this video. And there it is. Joey put the link to the video in the room already. All right. It is the alternative to lithium. A lot of people are not talking about it. What stirred the story for me is the Toyota story, talking about a charge in their, new cars that they're coming out. They're trying it out now. 700 miles in a charge. So that's what prompted the story, and hopefully you go watch it, especially all of those that type a 2. Folks, go watch it. We go beyond just the live streams here. We try to provide you a well-rounded wealth of information in the market. Now, we got about 200 people in the room. I want to get us up to 300. Let's make it happen. The only way I can make that happen is if you share the content. Joey put the link already in there. Share the content. Now, let's get into what's going on in the market. Let's go right into the program. Oops, no, I didn't want to do it that way. Let's go back to here. As we can see in the market, we're looking at one green light in the buy to sell ratio today. But the big thing is that we've got a confirmed down call. All right, the confirmed down call is the slowest, most conservative market timing call. But the interesting thing about this call, something that I have never seen, very rarely with 19 years of being here at VectorVest, is having the confirmed down call. You can't see it on my screen. Hold on. Let me go bring it up this way. Having the confirmed down call, but having the MTI, or the market timing indicator, still above the value of 1. This gives me some pause on the confirmed down call. Everything happened for the market to turn down, for the confirmed down call to happen. but the MTI, or the underlying trend of the market, is still above the value of 1. We're in a confirmed down call, but in a down up situation. Now, let's talk a little bit more about that. As I bring up the market timing graph, we'll notice that today, we got a big move to the upside, and something that I was looking to see if the market had legs to the upside. We started fading this gap. We had a gap up here and a gap down here. These 3 bars were in no man's land. And in order for me to see that we did have some legs to the upside, we needed to fade the gap. Friday, we tried very hard to fade the gap. Big wick at the top of the candle showing some selling pressure going into today. Today, we didn't get confirmation of that selling pressure. Nice up day, very little wick at the top, very little wick at the bottom. Open candle in that space where the gap happened, and now we're fading the gap. What does that mean for me? It means that there's a little bit of bullish euphoria in the market. And where does that stem from? I'm going to tell you where that stems from. Where is it? Right here. All right, let's go here. U.S. stocks mix as investors await inflation report for June. That, Joe, you got the mouse, or I got it? All right, that's what's making the market go up today. Now, Christian, I did talk about T0 in a video. Was it in a video or in a stock? Oh, when I was talking about overstock. I did talk about T0. The problem is with T0 is there's a special way that you have to invest in it to buy shares in it. Someone did tell me to Thinkorswim might give you the opportunity to buy T0. It's TZROP. That's the ticker symbol, TZROP. And it had a lot, I brought that up to y'all's attention because it had a lot to do with overstock. Overstock is buying Bed Bath & Beyond. And part of that deal with them is that they are one of the first SEC approved movers of crypto utilizing that T0. So that's as much as I'm really going to say about it. I did talk about it in a live stream when I gave the story on overstock. That's where those two come together. I like the move. I like that T0 has the ability to trade or move money by way of digital currency that is approved by the SEC. So T0, ticker symbol TZROP, is definitely something that I want you to keep your eyes on. It's not in the VectorVest system, and I'm trying to see if we can get that to happen, but that's the two. And Christian, I thank you for bringing that up. We did talk about it in conjunction with overstock, and I think that that's going to be a big mover for overstock. Keep your eye, and if you can find out how to trade it, or find someone in Canada showed me that in the Canadian, there's a Canadian broker that will allow you to trade. Again, the ticker symbol, I'm going to type it in the room. Ticker symbol, TZROP. I want you guys to keep your eyes on that stock. Keep your eyes on that stock. Again, the big thing for me is that it is SEC approved. All right, so when it moves, you move just like that. Your Uncle Glenn put you onto it early. All right, your Uncle Glenn put you onto it early, TZROP. And a lot of you are not going to be able to trade it, but there's a way, and I'm still trying to find out the legitimate way that every one of you can be able to at least keep your eyes on it. Mark says there's no bid or ask on Schwab. I can't trade it in my Schwab account. But that is a stock that I want you guys to keep your eyes on. All right, so that's the big move. That's the big move of why the market is moving today. And as we look at it, part of what's helping the market to move, here's the story. Yellen's latest trip helped set a new normal for the U.S.-China relationship. I don't know that yet. All right, that's news. I don't know if that's noiser yet. As long as, here it is, as long as there's talks and communication between China and the U.S., the market will get used to a new normal. Now, when we talk about a new normal, we talk about what's going on in China. China is the biggest mover of everything. Why? Because they consume the most of the, and Jersey guy says, I'm not buying that. Jersey guy, I'm sort of kind of with you. Asa says you can trade it on TD Ameritrade. All right, so that may be something to look into. And again, with you, Mark, I know, oh God, stocks making the biggest move, blah, 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 blah. Fisker, we're going to talk a little bit about that. All right, so now when we start talking about what's going on in China, stocks rise, focus turns to inflation data. Again, I think a lot of people think that inflation on Wednesday is going to come in a lot cooler than what it is, and that will aid in the Fed's decision on what they want to do going forward with interest rates, all right? So that's why the market's moving up today. Now, talking about Janet Yellen's visit to China, China slides to the brink of deflation, adding stimulus urgency. This is not good for the markets globally, all right? No matter what you think about China, China still is the biggest consumer of everything. Now, how many of you heard me talk about India has now surpassed China as far as people? If you heard me talk about that, type of one. I didn't think that could happen. But India, and Joey found the information, my daughter and I were having this conversation, that India now has more people than China. That's huge. So now, with that being said, does India move up the ranks as far as economy or not? I'm just curious to know, does that put India in a whole different bracket as far as economy? Does it now become the third biggest economy, even bigger than Russia? Yes or no? Does India now become the third biggest economy at this particular point in time based upon the people? And Mark is right. That's literally, so William says no, and that's fine. I'm just curious to know where you stand on that. Does that make it? Trader Matt says yes. Not sure about China. BRICS meeting in August. I've been watching the BRICS news. They have some kind of summit going on with the big BRICS countries. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. Janet Yellen bowed 100 times to her Chinese counter, stood standing straight. Listen, we were trying to be doing what they do in their society. All right, so I think it was a matter of respect more so than anything. I'm not looking at it any more than that, Lou. I'm thinking that it was just a matter of respect. Rich Girl says so. So do what? What are you saying, Rich Girl? All right, so I'm just curious to know where you were as far as India eventually becoming the third biggest economy. Now, also talking about China, deflation looms in China as rebound loses steam. China's going to have to do some financial jerry-rigging. Or they're going to have to do some stimulus. China's consumer inflation dropped to 28-month low, while decline in producer prices widened in June. So about, you retracted that. Back India to surpass U.S. to become the world's second largest economy by 2075. Am I going to be alive in 2075, Joey? What is that, 2023?
You get to 2025.
Wow. Thanks, Joey. Thank you for that, buddy.
Hey, man, I said you'd be lucky.
Whatever. I hate you now, Joey. You know I love you. All right. She bowed to all the diplomats out there. No big deal. I'm thinking that's just a respect thing. I'm with you on that. I think that it's a respect thing. That's all. All right. So China is going to help pull the global economy down unless they can get their things back together. Here's another story. Big banks need financial cushion, Fed Bar says. Regulators plan to require the nation's large banks to boost capital. So are they afraid of the other shoe to drop like your Uncle Glenn has been talking about? I think the regional banks still haven't reported the losses yet, just like SIVB, a couple of other banks that did falter to that. And I think that they're just trying to kick the can down the road. A lot of these regional banks are going to be in the same situation. I still think that there's a bigger shoe to fall, but I think that the Fed Bar is stepping in and saying, just in case, you gotta be more financially stable to boost capital. Now, the other side of that is as more and more of these banks fall, if that does happen, it gives more room for these big banks to buy up more of the regional banks. Interesting, right? All right. How many of you went and got a Thread account? Type of one in the room. How many of you got onto the Thread social media craze right now? Type of one in the room. India GDP only 3 trillion behind Germany and Japan. Shailish, thank you for that. So maybe they're not anywhere close or to being the third biggest economy, but they got a lot of people. How many of you went and got? I didn't get one yet. Joey, did you get a Thread account yet? I did not. I don't think I'm going to. There you go. Thank you. Joey put the poll up there. Elizabeth says not interested. A lot of people are saying no. I haven't, but I want to show you something. Look at this. Thread nears 100 million users. That's huge. Threads too left in action, says Michael. You know, I'm not doing politics in here, but the last thing the world needs right now is another social media site. Amen to that. And then Elon Musk is saying that the people that Zuckerberg got came from Twitter and that they're using, and so he put a cease and desist. Why? Because it's competition. I asked last week, do you think that Threads is really going to be competition to Twitter? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It is a craze right now. And you know, just like with anything new that comes out, people are going to flock to it. But does it have the wherewithal to match up and really be competition for Twitter? This is just a hot thing right now. But being hot right now could be moving the Meta stock. So let's go add Meta to my list of stocks this week. All right, big news. Let's go put Meta. I think that short term, this could be a mover for Meta. Now, interesting, on a day like today where the market's up, Meta's down. All right, it's a safe stock. Doesn't have a lot of upside. It does have a CI above 1 and a VST above 1. But on a nice up day like that with the news of 100 million users, you think that it would move the stock higher. But as of right now, it is not. And the stock is grossly overvalued. It's all hot air for now, says VP. Let the cage match begin. Zuckerberg against Elon. We'll see. I don't know if that's going to really happen. Especially an app that is so similar to Twitter, says Albert. I'm with you on that. I just don't know if it's got the legs to really go toe-to-toe with Meta long term. With Twitter long term. I just don't know. All right, let's get to the next news article. Now, this is a stock that I want you to keep your eyes on as well. BIIB. Medicare. Now, BIIB got approval from the FDA for a drug called Leqembi, which is for Alzheimer's treatment. This is going to be big for the drug because Medicare will pay for the drug, what patients and doctors should know. And a lot of times it's okay to get an FDA approval, but if Medicare, which handles the older population, will pay for it for the Alzheimer's people, that's going to be a big boost for the drug, and actually should be a big boost for BIIB, which is Biogen. Medicare is now covering Leqembi, the only Alzheimer treatment on the market. You see that? The only Alzheimer's treatment on the market that slowed cognitive decline in early stages of the disease in a clinical trial. That's huge. If you are with anybody or have been involved with someone going through Alzheimer's, it is not a fun thing to watch. All right, you watch these people change, and they change drastically. And having a drug that can slow down the cognitive decline is huge. The drug company's BIIB. I want you to keep your eyes on that. This is not one of those drug company or drugs that I think is noise. I think that this is huge. It's BBIO, I'll take a look at that. Rich girl, I'll take a look at that. BBIO. Wait a minute though. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to take a look at your stocks. Don't put your stocks in yet. All right. Don't put your stocks in yet. But BBIB, overvalued. That doesn't surprise me as a drug company. Fundamentally not there. RT, I'm going to tell you to keep your eyes on RT, because RT, the news behind this drug could really move the stock's price higher. It is now a hold. I want you to keep your eyes on that drug. And the news, again, the only Alzheimer's drug treatment out there on the market that slowed cognitive decline in the early stages is going to be huge for the drug. All right, another company. You guys have another drug company, Nano Dimensions, jumped over 50% after agreement with Johnson & Johnson's leg of Janssen Pharmaceutical. Nanobiotics signed an agreement to create a drug to treat head and neck cancer tumors. Now, anything dealing with cancer is a promising story. Under the agreement, Nanobiotics will receive $60 million in the near term and up to $30 million in equity investments by 2027. Nanobiotics is also subject to receiving up to $1.8 billion in payments contingent upon the drug's potential development. So it's still in the development stage. Johnson & Johnson's leg, Janssen, is putting money behind it. So it's got a big company putting money behind it. That's something, and there it is, MBTX and J&J. Let's go put those on my list. And then, what did I just say? MBTX and J&J. Keep your eyes. Anything that's dealing with cancer is always a big story. Look at this. There it is. It was up almost 50%. Thinking we're going to have some profit taken. This is news driven. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is news driven, but is the news. And Johnson & Johnson says you can get more money as it goes through the development stage. You can get more money depending on how it develops going forward. Uncle Glenn, did the Chinese counterpart bow back to her? Of course not. He's her. Nah, come on. Listen, that's not what we do over in the United States. So, I mean, listen, what is the big deal? What is the big deal? So she bowed. That's what they do in that society. What's the big deal? They didn't bow back. So what? All right, that's just my 2 cents on it. I'd rather put you on the stocks than the weather, than to worry about who bowed more than the other and all that kind of stuff. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Doesn't matter. It's semantics. All right, it's semantics. That's my opinion. That's strictly my opinion. All right, let's get to the next story. Next story. Interesting. Barbie. People are too political. You know me, rich girl. I'm not going to be political in here. How many of you? I am not watching this movie. I don't know how many of you went to go watch the movie. I keep watching. What is the progressive commercial about? I wish I could tell you who she is. No, I wish I could, but I don't know if I can. That's a stupid commercial. But there's another big phase right now. The Barbie movie hype sends Mattel stock surging. All right, sends Mattel. She looked awful. Oh, she looked wonderful, says Rich Girl. I agree. I can see that she didn't look bad at all. So Mattel is on the move because of the Barbie movie. Really, Jake? Really, Jake? Jake says the best movie ever. I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. I swear I don't know if he's being sarcastic or not. But it's enough to move Mattel up 2%. And Hasbro. Hasbro and Mattel. Let's go take a look at toy companies. Toy companies because of a movie. Let's go put on Hasbro and put on Mattel. I will put them both on, but enough. I love Margot Robbie, but Barbie I won't be seeing. Sorry, and it's a chick flick, says Douglas. I'm not watching. William said it was boring. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm with you, Brandon. I'm with you on that. Anybody who's focused on the bowing was focused on the wrong things. I'd rather show you the stocks that are moving based upon all of that stuff. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes had a better plot. Wow, Roger, that was messed up. That was messed up. Did you hear they're coming out with a divorced Barbie? The collection comes with Ken's house, Ken's boat, Ken's car. Sigh. That's messed up. That's I had to do that. Did you see Ken in the movie? I don't know. I don't know if Ken was. I ain't watching the movie. Joey's gonna take his kids and go watch it, right, Barbie? Right, Joey? You're gonna go watch Barbie. All right. So Hasbro and Mattel. Mattel is up. Hasbro's down a little bit. But it's interesting how a movie can move stocks. That's the society that we're in right now. All right, that's the society that we're in right now. All right, let's go to the next story. Now, people keep asking me on the channel to take a look at Nano Dimensions. Last week we did. I like the stock. I looked at the news behind it. The stock's making money. All right, so I did take a deeper look into it. And now something else that I do like about Nano Dimensions is with the money that they're making, they're reinvesting back into the company. They are trying to buy a company called Stratasys, which is a 3D computer company. Enough that they're trying to sweeten the pot for the company. $24 a share. So I like the play with Nano Dimensions. I did talk about it last week. It wasn't a deep story, but it was enough to catch my attention that I do like the stock. I do like the play, especially on a company that is finally starting to really make some money. So I'm going to put both companies, Stratasys and Nano Dimensions. I don't think the deal is done. The revised tender offer expires July 24th. So Stratasys has got to make a decision on what they're going to do. They boosted it from $20 a share to $24 a share. Nano Dimensions really wants this company. All right, to compete with, including a potential combination of Stratasys with 3D systems. I think that's another part of it, and I got to look at it. Previously bid last month also said 3D Systems revised offer was not superior proposal to its merger with the Desktop Metal. This is going to be an ongoing story, but I do like the play with Nano Dimensions, which could also help SSYS. Let's go put that into here. SSYS and NNDM. We'll add the both of those to there. Jay Berg, it's been hot and stormy down here in the coast of Mississippi. Ken driving the new... I'm not saying that, trader. I ain't saying that. My Barbie is kicking me out, going with the passport bros. Fireplace is always on one. So let's go look at Nano Dimensions. A little overvalued. RT News is pushing it higher. I did like the play when I looked at the graph of the stock. And what was the other one? How about Stratasys is at the top of the list by VST? Stratasys is at the top of the list by VST. Great upside potential, which is probably why Nano Dimensions wants it. But then I'm wondering if 3D was going after it. Looks like it was, but it looks like Nano Dimensions is showing that they really want the company more than 3D. Once it gets bought, the stock will be delisted and go under Nano Dimensions driving SSYS. If you're going to get into it, they have up until July 24th to accept the deal. If you think that you want to short-term take it, by all means do. But I wonder if you do take it, I wonder if the shares automatically turn over to Nano Dimensions. And again, people have been asking me to do this story, so hopefully we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, what other stuff in here? Fisker, EV company. Fisker stock alert. Watch this $340 million catalyst. Fisker announced a $340 million convertible loan, and the stock rose about 3%. This is the bad side of it. Fisker must produce. Every EV company that I like is always about the idea they're worth their weight in salt if they can make the cars, because the demand is there. The demand is there. But if these companies cannot produce the product, it's going to be a problem. We just saw a week or two ago how a lot of the major EV companies were able to meet or exceed not earnings, but meet or exceed expectations on building the vehicles. So Fisker's going to be in this point. So they've got the money. Can they now produce the vehicles? So we're going to keep our eyes on Fisker. That whole space was hot. Fisker, FSK, KKR. No. What is it? It's FSR, Glenn. Sigh. Don't you know what you're talking about when you talk about? I know what I'm talking about. Shut up, Joey. FSR. It's FSR. There's Fisker. All right, where does Fisker sit in my list today? Towards the bottom, way overvalued. This is big for them to get the money, which is pushing it higher. They're getting the money, but can they turn that money into vehicles? Can they turn that money into vehicles? That's going to be big. That's going to be big. All right, I think I've only got one or two more stories. Snowflake. Everybody knows that when it comes down to AI in little companies, I am a fan of Palantir. Snowflake and Palantir are pretty much in the same space of using taking data into useful information. You mentioned Rivian last week, and it had a good morning today. From what Steve said in the Jockey Club, we lost some money on the Rivian trade. We lost some money on the Rivian trade. We got into it for a reason. I did talk about it on a live stream. Man, I talk about so many different stocks on the live stream. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up, remember the reasons why I did like Rivian. I think that Rivian produced the vehicles, and that's why I think it was a bullish move on it. But Steve said in the Jockey Club we lost money on it. I don't remember. All right, so Snowflake and Microsoft joined forces to advance AI and data solutions. Well, let's go take a look at Snowflake and Microsoft. We know about what's going on with Microsoft, with ChatGPT and Snowflake. Let's go see where they sit in the list. Snowflake towards the bottom, way overvalued. It's moving up, news driven, but I still think that in the AI space, AI is still a hot space. It had taken a little bit of a breather, but I still think that it's a hot space, and I'm going to still tell you why it's a hot space in a second. Now, we all know about what's going on with China limiting what they send because of the rare earth elements, blah, 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 blah. You know what I liked about this week's video? Talking about a battery that's not using rare earth elements to a certain degree, or small. They're still using lithium, but you got to watch the video, but not as heavy on the rare earth as full-blown lithium vehicles are. So Snowflake, I think it's going to remain a good spot because of AI. That was Snowflake. What was the other one? What was it? Oh, Fisker. Was it? No, Snowflake. What was the other stock? Snowflake. Oh, Microsoft. Sorry. Where's Microsoft? Towards the top of the list. Also overvalued. Let me tell you something about why so many stocks in the market is overvalued. Do you want to know why that is? Do you guys want to know why so many stocks in the market are overvalued? Or do you have a reason that you want to type in the room why stocks are overvalued? So if you want to know, let me know that you want to know. Number two, if you think you know, let me see your answer of why you think so many stocks are overvalued. All right, so I'm watching the yeses come in. So let me tell you a little story about a man named Jed. Never mind, it's not a man named Jed. I don't even know her. You Fisker? Oh, yeah, Fireblazer. I'm not even laughing at that. All right, Roger says it's because of hopium. Partly yes, but partly no. Everybody in the room want to know it's FOMO. I'm going to say FOMO is partly it as well. The reason why the market is primarily overvalued is because money goes where money grows. So when people invest, and this is just a quick overview of the stock market in and of itself, money goes where money grows. It's a battle between earnings yield and interest yield. So depending on where interest is and depending on where the earnings are in the market, that's where money grows. Well, interest is rising, but is it rising to the point that people are willing to put money into the bank? Or are you willing to get a bigger return, or are you more likely to get a bigger return based on the earnings yield in the market? We're still at a point where you're going to make more money. It's a better bet that you're going to make more money in the market rather than putting it into the bank. So money goes where money grows. People are putting their money into the market rather than putting it into the bank. Does that make sense to you guys in the room? Now, I look at things, type a yes or no. I do look at things like fear of missing out. That adds to it. Oh my gosh, the market's going up. Why? Because that's where the money is being made. So it does keep in mind the whole fear of missing out. Why? Because the market's moving and you're not getting nearly as much money in your bank account. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Type it in the room. Type that in. I want to know if that makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, type a no. Type a no. I'm okay with that. But I'm thinking, and it makes sense. Money goes where money grows. It's a higher chance that you're going to make more money in the market than you will keeping your money in the bank. So Jersey Guy says no. Fireblazer says no. So do you agree? Type a 1 or 2. Do you agree that money goes where money grows when it comes to investing your money? Type a 1 if you agree, type a 2 if you don't. All right, money goes where money grows. And it's always going to be the battle between earnings yield and interest yield. So based upon that, you still know that interest is rising, but we're still low historically. We're still low historically. How many of you would rather put your money in the bank or put it in the market? Type bank or market. At this particular point in time right now, where would you rather have your money? In the bank, type bank, or in the market, type market. And I think that answer is going to answer in deeper detail. Money goes where money grows. There it is. The market is coming up exponentially more than putting it in the bank. Now, Brian says bank at 4%. Is that enough for me to make more money than putting it into the market? I can make 4% in a couple of weeks. Joey put another poll up there. Which poll was that one? Oh, the thread account. Most people said no. All right. So as I look, either way, money is being eroded by the Fed. Fireblazer, that's another story for another time. That is another story for another time. U12 says, my answer, I like the bang to the market. Either, and again, a mix of both. VP, that's not a bad answer. But the majority of my money is still going to be in the market rather than being in the bank. Risk management matters. Absolutely, Jersey guy. I didn't say you take risk management out. Whether I'm in the market or I'm in the bank, especially if I'm in the market, I've got big time risk management on. Because the market's up one day, down one day, because this is not a trending market, this is more of a trader's market. Risk management plays a big role in what I do with my stocks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. All right, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I love that today we are maintaining above 200 people in the room, which means that the conversation is interesting. I still want to try to get 300 people in the room. If it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I do like that we are maintaining above 200 people in the room. Now, if you like the content that we're going through today, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're brand new to the channel, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. This is what we do all the time. It's all about us doing the work. You reap the rewards. We do the analysis, folks, and we will help you make money in the market. That's what it's all about. All right, I got one more story. And remember, I keep telling you the AI space is a hot space. TSMC surpasses expectations with strong AI-driven sales. I still don't think AI is going away no time soon. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, AI did take a pullback, a breather. That makes sense. Nothing can go up forever. But I still think that there's nothing stopping this AI locomotive train right now. There's nothing that's stopping this locomotive train right now. All right, so TSMC, let's go look at TSM, add it to my list. These are my stocks that made the news. Now, you know what we do every week? We look at, out of all of the stocks that made the news, where is your money best spent? The first thing I like to do is sort this list leave it sorted by VST. So the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing will rise to the top of the list. Now, the cool thing about Taiwan Semi, undervalued. Unlike a lot of stocks in the market right now, it is undervalued, fundamentally sound, going up in price. CI is below 1. It's a buy recommendation. Let's scroll over. Earnings growth at double digits. Earnings per share is positive. So if I'm looking at this, I still think the AI space is hot. I like this. Pull forward of demand of chips, says Jersey. You know something? I still think that they're going to be able to pull off the chips. They're going to, the best way that they can. They will. I still know that TSM is, Taiwan Semi has got the big manufacturing collaboration with ASML in Arizona. And they're going to be building more. Which is why my building stocks are high on my list. No smart money versus dumb money. I got you, Bill. Again, there's no judgment in any of my questions that I ask. There's no judgment in any of the questions I ask. I just want you guys to be involved in the conversation. What else do I like? Stratasys, a little overvalued, good upside potential. VST above 1, that may not be a bad play, but I do know that Nano Dimensions is buying it. If you do get into this stock, again, they've got 24 up until July 24th to accept the tender offer from Nano Dimensions. Short term, the stock could have a big upside. It could. And once the deal is done, you may then own shares of Nano Dimensions. Kind of interesting, right? Meta, because of Threads, I'm not going to touch Threads. I don't think I'm going to do it. But it does have a CI. The first stock, one of only 2 stocks in the list that have a CI above 1. Grossly overvalued, makes money in an uptrend. I would keep my eye on Meta. Microsoft, excuse me, overvalued, makes money. RT above 1, VST above 1. Hasbro and Mattel both have VST above 1. Is Barbie enough to really push Mattel higher for longer term? We'll see. Johnson & Johnson with the deal with BIIB, I think that's going to be big. I think that's going to be big. I think that was. No, Johnson & Johnson was with Nanobiotics. Johnson & Johnson and Nanobiotics. And BIIB, let's go back to that story. BIIB, where is it? BIIB was because of the drug that got the FDA approval. Yeah. All right, that's BII. And again, this is big for Alzheimer's. All right. So I really do like, and this at the bottom of the list. Let's go take a look at all of these stocks. That's all the way at the bottom of the list too. Let's go put these all on 3-month stocks, 3-month graphs. TSM, hot because of the AI space, waiting for the graph to come up. I have these on a different graph. Let's go pull off the graph. Let's go look at swing. Now I'm looking at a 20-day exponential moving average. I don't like the earnings. I do like the dividends. The dividend is going to make it very attractive for more people to buy into it. A little bit of a sideways move. I do have a level of support sitting right here at a value of something. Why can't I click on that? Oh, that's fibs. I'm looking at fibs. Let's go clear the drawings. There we go. Here's my level of support. The stock is sitting in a little bit of a channel right now. I still think that chip stocks got some good move. I'm looking at this level of the gap up that hasn't been faded. All right, so I got a level of support sitting at 96.87. 96.87. What am I on? Am I on the right one, Joey? Am I on program? Yep. All right. There is Stratasys because of Nano Dynamics. Nice move, sitting right at a level of support that broke through as a level of resistance, and it's holding. I still think that stock's got some more upside. Meta looks good. There's rising earnings, 45-degree angle. There you go. Mark says, please say happy birthday to my home country of the Bahamas. 50 years of independence. Happy birthday to Bahamas. Happy birthday to Bahamas. VectorVest real time in the Derby, the same as the Jockey Club. The Derby gives you access to the Jockey Club trader map. All right. I saw the story. SETI, the 60-minute story was a repeat. I saw the story. They did that story either a week or 2 ago. I did see that story. Very interesting. It was all about Google's AI. It was a very interesting story. Very interesting story. All right, let's go to the next graph. Again, this is another stock. This is with Johnson & Johnson. Never faded the gap, though. Nice gap up, still holding. I'd keep my eye on it. Let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft just recently, with today, went below the 20-day exponential moving average. That's a bearish sign. But remember, if the market is moving down, 80% of the stocks move 80% of the stocks in the market move with the market. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Hasbro, I don't know if the Barbie movie is going to keep this stock really going for an extraordinary long amount of time. Earnings per share is falling, though. That's a bearish sign. So this is news that's probably noise. Mattel, on the other hand, is probably doing halfway decent. I don't like the earnings per share, but you know something? We got a while before we get to the Christmas time. That's probably where they'll pick up with earnings. We'll see what happens. But earnings have been steadily falling. A big boost because of the Barbie movie. Let's go Johnson & Johnson. Broke through a level of support over the last couple of days. I'd keep my eye on it. It is overvalued as well. But they just bought into another company or investing in another company. Nano Dimensions. I do like the move coming off support above the 20, moving up, a little bit more wick today on it, but overall in an uptrend. And it is currently overvalued. I believe that is value. Yeah, it is currently overvalued, enough to move it up to overvalued. Snowflake, I'm a bigger fan of Palantir. Snowflake did fall below the 20-day exponential moving average, approaching 2 levels of support. Let's go see if those levels will hold. But you know something? Overall, over the last 3 months, more of a sideways move than not. Palantir looks a little better. Fisker, all that money that they just accrued. Let's go see if it can turn into making cars. Love the earnings per share. I'd love to see it break out of this 3-month level of a high. All right. And the last stock on the list is BIIB. I want you to keep your eyes on this stock in regards to, let's go back to the news. That was BIIB. Yep. This is the Alzheimer's drug. That's what I thought. This is I want you to keep your eyes on that. And you know something? It's an expensive stock. I would play the option on it. I would most likely play the option on it. And it does have options on it. I'm telling you, that's going to be big news for the stock. Keep your eye on that stock. Drew says Threads affiliation with Instagram is how they have jump-started their membership. You know, it doesn't matter. That's a lot of people. So from what I understand, when wrong story. Instagram is big for them. They've got the people. 100 million users is a lot. Is a lot in a short amount of time, no matter what. That's the way I look at it. And Meta is not a bad looking stock. All right. So if I'm looking at some of these stocks, some of them I like, some of them I don't like. Concentrate on the stocks that have a CI above 1. Number one, and then concentrate on the stocks that have an RT above 1, which tells you that they are in an uptrend. How about NVIDIA? Is it still a good buy? Let's do this. Let's go straight to your stocks. I'm not going to do that yet. Let's go to my phase 3 drugs. How many of you have made some money off of the phase 3 drugs? Type of 1 in the room. If you haven't, type of 2. How many of you have made some money on the phase 3 drugs that I give you? Type of 1 if you have, type of 2 if you haven't, or you just never tried them. All right. I do like on Mondays to give you drugs that have phase 3 analysis. Look at that. I got a lot of 2s, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But let's go see what my drugs did from last week. You notice Kodiak keeps popping up. Let's go back 1 week. Let's go see. Russia is the 11th largest economy. You know, that's let's go to the 3rd. Joey, did we do we did a presentation on the 3rd, didn't we? We had a live stream on the 3rd. Side.
Yeah, I wasn't here though, right?
You was. It was cool. All right. Let's quick test. Let's go see if they made any money. Look at that. The reason why I ask is some of these drugs will provide you an opportunity to make some money. Look at that, 6.26% in a week. And that's because one drug went up 43%. I'm not asking you guys, you got to go buy all of these stocks. All those people that typed it too, these are stocks to keep on your radar because all of these stocks have some phase 3 catalyst news. It's not a bad play over 1 week, right? All right, so here's my phase 3 stocks for this week. All I want you to do, take a picture of the screen, whatever you need to do. These are stocks that are relatively inexpensive. I try to find lower dollar stocks for you guys. All right. I think that some of these can be really big home runs to take advantage of. All right. So take a picture. Once the video comes out, you can pause right here, write these down, whatever you need to do. These are stocks that I do the research on for you to find that phase 3 catalyst stuff. All right. And last but not least, let's go look at my building stocks over the last week. This is my list. This is an ongoing list. This list does not change. Let's go see what the building stocks did over the last week. All right. My 4 industries that are built in for this watch list is building cement, steel, glass, and copper. Let's go see what they did over the last week. Market went down. These went down. Makes sense. All right. Market went down. These went down. But I want to show you something else. Let's go take it from the date that we first started talking about this. It was May 15th. It was on a Monday where I brought these to your attention. Let's go see what they've done since your Uncle Glenn brought them to your attention. It's not half bad, huh? The market was up 6.5%. This beat out the market. You like that? Yes or no? You like that? Yes or no? The biggest mover in here happens to be ATI. Not a lot of people have made a lot of money on TGLS. Over the time period, it's up 8%. But I got 3 double-digit movers in here. 3 double-digit movers. ATI, there's another glass stock, APOG, outside of TGLS and PKB. Look at that. 3 double digits worth of, and that's since the first day we started talking about. Jeff says, yes, Uncle Glenn, my favorite uncle. I like that, Jeff. I want to be everybody's favorite uncle. All right, let's stream this. All right, so I covered everything else I wanted to cover, I think. Let's go do this. Let's go do your customer picks this week. We're at 12:52. How many people we still got? We still almost got 200 people. I kept your attention today. That's a good thing. All right, EMPH. Let's first one there. EMPH, comma PCAR, comma TGS. I'm only going to take 2 of yours, William. PKB. Want everybody to have an opportunity to get in. RIG, STLR, comma RCMT. STLR. I don't have it. STLR. I ain't got it. AMG, comma RIG. Is RIG already? RIG's already in there. RCMT, comma Tesla, comma BPT gas stock, Vista Energy, comma BELFB. That stock is pulling back, Norman. AMC, really? You want AMC? ARKG, comma Tesla's already in there. ALB. You done with ALB? Not me. IEP. IEP is up 21%. Wow. Bank or market solved for me. There you go. Look at that. Mark put, I like that statement. IEP is up 21%. My options on IEP are up 153% today. Bank or market? Solved for me. I'm agreeing with that. SoFi. Ooh. SoFi. Blow my mind. PYPL, comma EXTR. Where to add on also. Okay, we'll see. DVN, comma FTNT. That's a lot of stocks. You guys give me a lot of stocks. Good, Gordon Jim. Badger says, Uncle Glenn, you're young enough to be my son, but I still appreciate your research. You do the work and help this old guy reap the rewards. That's what I'm talking about. William, I already had RCMT. JPM, I got 20 stocks. That's enough stocks for me to look at today, folks. That's a lot of stocks. I got a lot of stocks. Let's go. And Carnival Cruise Line, Maria, I am a fan of, sort of, kind of. I don't know. I still think that with the inflated prices, people are willing to spend. I think that these stocks, the airline stocks, the boat stocks, the Airbnb, are going to cause a credit crisis later because a lot of people are putting these trips and things on their credit cards, but we're going to see if they're going to be able to pay the bill. You know what I'm saying, Maria? We're going to see if they can be able to pay the bill. All right, let's go peep these out. By VST, just about every stock you gave me today had a VST above 1. Who gave me IEP and AMC? Both of those have VSTs below 1. AMC is a meme stock. Yes, I called it a meme stock. It is a meme stock. It's up 0.25% today. IEP, what was the deal with IEP? There was news on that. IEP, stock news. It's at the bottom of the list there, Mark. Let's go peep this out. 21%. After founder untangles loans from a share. Wasn't IEP in the Hindenburg thing too? Wasn't IEP in the Hindenburg thing too? ICANN Enterprises stock surges after founder untangles loans from share price. Yeah, IEP was Hindenburg. All right. Is this enough to keep it moving? I like to move it. Let's go take a look at the graph. All right, I like to move. It's going to probably be a big jump. Let's go to 3. There's the big jump. So if you are in it, Mark is in it. If you are in it, I'm going to give you a stop price of $31.72. What don't I like about this stock? Let's go move this over a little bit. RV and RS both below 1. All right, so this is news driven. But is it enough for me to go buy it? Now, a couple of things. One, it's only really one thing. It moved from a buy to a hold. I got nothing that says that I want this long term. This is a short term move. You agree with me, Mark, on that? You agree with me, Mark? This is not something I want to back up the truck and go buy. There's no wick at the top of the candle, so there's a lot of volume behind it. I'm not sure, based upon the analysis, if I really. So they got some money. Other than that, does that change the company at this at all? Still fundamentally unsound. Now, here is the second thing. From this level, I'm watching earnings slowly rise. That's a positive sign as well. It means they're making more money. So, Boston says short covering. Okay? After the Hindenburg stuff, could be. All right. So those were at the bottom of the list. Let's go look at the stocks at the top of the list. Let's go look at the top 5 or so. Somebody wanted to know when to get in buying more. Was it EXTR? Was it that stock? Saying that you want to know when to buy more. Which stock was it? No, he owned 85% personally. He's still paying $8 dividend. Thank you, Mark. It was on EXTR. Thank you, Matt. I just wanted to make sure. It was EX. All right, so Belfuse. Stock, beautiful move. Gapped up, never faded the gap. Beautiful, sitting in the channel, bouncing off a level of support. I do like that it's above the 20-day. I'd like to see it. I would really, who did that? All right.
You did that.
All right, hold on. I didn't know you were doing that. Here. Let me do that and move it back over to you. Ooh, what does it do? Why is it doing that? I know why. Hold on, sit still. Sigh nothing. Shut up. All right. I would like to see it take out that level of resistance. If you're not in it. If you are in it, hard line in the sand, this level of support. Notice, hit it once, got close. That's a beautiful level of support if you're in the stock right now. If you're not in the stock, and it looks like it's got more upside, love the earnings, I'd like to see it take out that high. All right, which is sitting at about $60 or so. All right, let's go to the next one. EXTR. Wow, nice move, Trader Matt. I like this. And I'm using even a longer term, 20-day exponential moving average. Look at the fall right to there. Would I buy more? Yeah, I would buy. But keep in mind, the confirmed call is down. Just keep that in mind. I would look at 12 cents higher than today's high. I am looking at 12 cents higher than today's high. If you're in it, and actually, Matt, tell you what I would do as well. See this level right here? Beautiful level of a swing high before it took off again. That level sitting at a level of 25.03. That's your line in the sand. Matt. That's your line in the sand. But if you want to think about getting in now, one, make sure that the stock is going up higher. Two, I would be looking at 12 cents higher than today's high. And it is undervalued. There's a lot of things that I like about the stock. But if I'm not in it, I'd look at 12 cents higher than the high today. Next stock, Tesla. I still think Tesla's a great stock. 20-day exponential moving average earnings. We know what happened with the earnings when they cut back on the prices. That affected earnings. He didn't care. The stock has gone down for 3 days in a row. I like this level of 20-day exponential moving average. If it falls below that, that's probably, from an end-of-day perspective, a good opportunity to get out of the stock. All right, but right now, leave it alone. Vista Energy. I like that it's in a channel. Nice upward move. Nice earnings per share. It's a oil stock. I would like to see it take out that level of resistance sitting at about 25.36. If I'm not in it, I'd be looking at 12 cents higher than that level. If you are in it, leave it alone. It is in a little bit of a channel. Even with that, it never fell below the 20-day exponential moving average in this short term. I like that. That's a bullish term. And then I'm also looking at nice bullish day right at resistance. ALB, again, another stock where earnings is falling. Look at that. Today stopped right at that level of resistance, sitting at about 241.75. Undervalued. Love that it's undervalued. Volume has been pretty steady at or near average volume. I'd really like to see it go up 12 cents higher than 241.75. I am catching, it catches my eye about the earnings falling. Be careful with that. All right, what's in the middle? Rig, take these 5 in the middle. Take these 5 in the middle. View the stock graph. These are in the middle. Money's in the what? In the middle. In the what? In the middle. Money's in the middle. Glenn, I just read a lot of EV cars sitting on lot could hurt Tesla. Those cars, when you say EV cars sitting on lots, a lot of the companies that I've done a lot of stories on are selling the cars. They're selling the cars. I know that there was a story. Somebody sent me a story of a lot of cars sitting on lots in China. I don't think that that's the same thing going on here, Scott. I don't think that that's going on here. All right, but I haven't seen, and I'm not sure for sure. Look at Rig. Look at that. Another petroleum stock. Nicely moving up. Undervalued. Rising earnings. But you know what catches my attention? See the stock rising with the rising earnings? Look at the volume. Look at the volume. All right, so just keep your eyes on that, but don't fight the tape. The stock is moving up. Broke through 2 levels of resistance, now serving at a level of support. It's a buy. I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand sitting at the most recent level of support. That's your hard line in the sand, sitting about $7.71. All right, next one. Wow, FTNT looks good. Bottom left, top right, above the 20-day. Volume is pretty steady. Nice new high. I like it. That's one of those ones that I like. I like that stock, and I cannot lie. Just look at that stock go fly up in the air, because I don't care. Gonna make that money everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, that was off the top of the dome, peeps. That was off the top of the dome. That was off the top of the dome. All right, FTNT I do like. FTNT I do like. How many of you are chuckling behind? How many of you are chuckling behind your computer? Type 1. All right, RCMT. Like the move on the stock. Love the earnings going up. And undervalued. I like this stock as well. I like this move. I like this stock. $19.46, not extraordinarily expensive. Mark says, keep my day job. All right, well, that's Joey. Joey's such a hater. Joey's a hater. He doesn't like anything because he's a hater. He's a straight up hater. All right, let's go to the next one. TGS, transported gas. A little bit of a channel. A little bit of a channel within a channel. See this channel inside this channel? I'm going to give you a hard line in the sand right here, sitting at the value of about $12.91. All right, that's a solid level of support that if it breaks through in end of day, you might want to think about taking your money off the table. I do like the current rise in earnings per share and that it's undervalued. All right, Lisa's not here. Is Lisa here? I don't think Lisa's here. Lisa's at home today. All right, so I do see the channel within the bigger channel, But that's my line in the sand on TGS, sitting at about $12.91. BPT, I'd rather be in a different petroleum stock. We just saw a couple of others that were probably a little better. I do like that it's moving up slowly but surely above the 20-day. I don't like the earnings per share. It is undervalued. It's got a ways to go before this stock starts to move. Could this be an early move? Possibly, but I could find you a couple of other petroleum stocks that we do like. All right. Where am I at? We covered a lot of stocks today. We covered a lot of information. BKKT set to launch the FedNow crypto. Julie, again, I've talked a little bit about that. That's the CBDC, the central bank digital currency. I think it's a scary thing. But somebody made mention in a live stream that they're going to probably just observe for now as it's introduced. I think it's this month, later this month, in a couple of weeks, they're going to be introducing the Fed currency called FedNow. And we'll see how that works. If I am looking at a currency, a crypto, I do like the T0. Especially in conjunction with Overstock. It's already SEC approved. Keep your eyes, and if you can find out how to trade it, by all means, just keep your eyes on it. Jackie wants Feng Yu. Let's go one more stock. Let's go look at that on a graph. All right, FNGU. There's the intraday today. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Do I like it? Maria says, awesome, gents. Thank you, Maria, for being here. You didn't say happy birthday to Cigar. You told me to say happy birthday to the Bahamas. That's what you told me to do. You said the Bahamas, not to Cigar. Cigar, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Thank you. You know what I don't like? Here's the 20-day exponential moving average. I'm not sure if I like the move. I'm not sure. Look at that. Look at that trend. All right, I'd like it better when it's doing this and pulling away. It's pulling down towards. Just keep your eyes on that. All right, just keep your eyes on that. Lee says, thank you, Glenn, for all your great work. Folks, this is what we do. This is all about the value behind the VectorVest software, folks. We're here to help you guys make money. If you're brand new to the channel and you liked what you saw today, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything to do that. If you like what you saw today, hit the like button. That lets me know that it was worth it for you to just stop by. You didn't even have to chat with me. Just hit the like button. Let me know that it was worth it for you to stop by. And you got some ideas. All right? You got some ideas. That's what it's all about. My job is not to twist your arm and make you stay here. My job is, well, part of my job is to entertain you. Hopefully I do that. But it's also to inform you. I also do inform you. Badger says, Steve sold your Fang Yu in the Jockey Club this morning. This stuff really worked. Listen, did we make money on it? All right. And Maria, look at that. I'm putting that up. Maria says, Cigar, may your days be filled with blessings. That's a kumbaya moment. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. All right. We got to put our lighters up in here. Hold on. We got to put our lighters up in the air before we go. Ready? Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. I hope I don't set off the fire alarm. That'd be sucky if I did. All right. So with that, we're getting ready to go. Joey, thank you for all of your help in the background like you always hear. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you, folks, for helping to grow the channel. Folks, this is what we do. STRL. I couldn't find that stock to put into the STRL. We do have it. Sterling Infrastructure. Real quick. Sterling Infrastructure. I thought I couldn't get it. Love the move on it. That's another one. I love the move on it. 45-degree angle earning. I love it. But building is one of the industries. Building cement was one of my main industries, and I want you. Part of building cement is building heavy construction. Beautiful, $58 stock, undervalued. Gotta love it. All right, now I gotta go. I gotta go. Wrong. I pushed the wrong freaking button. Now I gotta go. All right. Watch for tonight's video. Top top weekly stocks for the U.S., to Canada, and Australia. It's going to be the 6 p.m. video tonight. It's a fan favorite. It's a fan favorite. Make sure you watch it. Tomorrow is going to be another video on stock picking technique number 2. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to watch the video. I'm going to have about 5 or 6 stock picking techniques on Tuesdays for the next 5 to 6 weeks. All right. So thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for helping us to grow the channel. Tell your friends. Once this is up, share the video even after it's up. Let's get more people on board with what we do here. We do the work, you reap the rewards. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Happy birthday. No, that's Bahamas. Happy birthday to Hawaii as well. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Till the next time, folks. See ya.